Hello everyone. I welcome you all to the class on the topic Power of Matrices. In this lecture, we will study how to compute the power of a matrix without doing actual multiplication. So given a matrix A, we will see how to find A power m where m is a positive integer without doing usual matrix multiplication. We will also study about a method to find the inverse of a matrix. Power of matrices. Let A be an n by n matrix. Now suppose that we want to find the power of A raised to m, where n is a positive integer. That is, it is the matrix multiplication A into A, etc. m times. So one way of doing this is just multiply the matrices A m times. But it is not a practical thing because it will consume a lots of time. So how to, in this section, in this lecture class, we will study how to compute the higher powers of A quickly. Now we can do this quickly by using a theorem called as Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Cayley-Hamilton theorem says that an n by n matrix A satisfies its own characteristic equation. So if A is an n by n matrix and suppose that its characteristic equation is minus 1 raised to n lambda raised to n plus Cn minus 1 lambda raised to n minus 1 plus etc. C1 lambda plus C0 equal to 0. So this is the characteristic equation of A. Now here C1, C2, C0, etc. Cn minus 1 are coefficients. Now, according to Cayley-Hamilton theorem, the matrix A should satisfy its characteristic equation. That is, A should satisfy this equation, which means that we should get minus 1 raised to n, A raised to n plus Cn minus 1, A raised to n minus 1 plus etc. C1a plus C0 I equal to 0. Here each term we have matrices. Now C0 is a constant, so we cannot add like that. So we have to write C0 into identity matrix I, where I is the identity matrix of order n. So it is again an n by n matrix. Now we will see how to do this. So using Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we will see how to find how to compute the higher powers of the matrix. So first we will take a 2 by 2 matrix. Let A equal to minus 2, 4, minus 1, 3. So first we have to find its characteristic equation. So we know that the characteristic equation is given by determinant of A minus lambda I equal to 0. So this implies determinant of minus 2 minus lambda, 4 minus 1, 3 minus lambda equal to 0. So when you expand this, we will get lambda square minus lambda minus 2 equal to 0. So this is the characteristic equation. Now, by Cayley-Hamilton theorem, the matrix A should satisfy the characteristic equation. So, by Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we will get a square minus a minus 2i equal to 0. So the matrix A is satisfying its characteristic equation. So from here we will get a square is equal to a plus 2i. So A is the given matrix. So if we want to find a square, what we have to do is do a plus 2i. So in this way we will get the value of a square. So we need not do multiplication and find a square, but simply what we can do is a plus 2i. So we will get a square. Now how to get a cube? To get the next power a cube, what we have to do? To get a cube, multiply again with a. This equation multiply with a. So we will get a square into a is equal to a plus 2i into a. So this implies a cube is equal to a square plus 2a. Now what is a square? We have a square is a plus 2i. So we can substitute the value. So this is a plus 2i plus 2a. So this is 3a plus 2i. So it means that a cube is 3a plus 2i. So for getting a cube, we need not multiply a 3 times, but what we can do is simply do 3a plus 2y. So that is the advantage of this Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Now suppose again we want to find a4. To get a power 4, suppose we want to compute a power 4, what we have to do is again multiply this with a. So you will get a cube into a is equal to 3a plus 2i into a. So this implies a power 4 is equal to 3a square plus 2a. Again we can substitute for a square. So we will get 3a plus 2i plus 2a. Now this is 5a plus 6i. So in this way we will get a power 4 also. So we need not do multiplication to compute a power 4. We can simply do 5a plus 6i. Now we will derive a general formula for getting a raised to m. Now to find a raised to m. So now we will derive a general formula for a raised to m. So if you give any positive integer value to m, we can compute a raised to m. So we have the matrix A equal to -2, 4, -1, 3. So as we have found the characteristic equation, we did right now and we got the equation as lambda square minus lambda minus 2 equal to 0. And from here, if we find the eigenvalues are -1 and 2. So these are the eigenvalues. So from the characteristic equation, I can write lambda square equal to 2 plus lambda. So lambda square is written as a combination of lambda and a constant. So in general, I can say that lambda raised to m will be some linear combination of C0 and lambda. C0 plus it will be of the form C0 plus C1 lambda. When m equal to 2, we got it as 2 plus lambda. So in general, we will assume that. So let this will be of the form lambda raised to m will be of the form C0 plus C1 lambda, where C0 and C1 are constants. Now by Cayley-Hamilton theorem, Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we get a raised to m equal to c naught I plus c1a. Mark it as equation number 1. So, if you put m equal to 2, we will get the value of a square. If you put m equal to 3, we will get a cube. Like that, in this formula, if you give any positive integer value to m, we can compute that power of a. But the problem is with C0 and C1, we should know what are the values of C0 and C1. So, to get C0 and C1. Now, we have the characteristic equation. We have lambda raised to m equal to C0 plus C1 lambda. Suppose we mark this as equation number 2, and our eigenvalues are -1 and 2. So first we put lambda equal to -1 in equation 2. So from here we will get -1 whole raised to m equal to C0 minus C1. So we got one equation. I mark it as equation number 3. Now our next eigenvalue is lambda equal to 2. So we will put the eigenvalues. So put lambda equal to 2 in equation 2. So these are our eigenvalues. So in equation 2, if you put lambda equal to 2, we will get 2 raised to m equal to C0 plus 2C1. Mark it as equation number 4. Equation number 4. Now, solve equation 3 and 4 to get the value of C0 and C1. So, equation 3 and 4 are two equations in two unknowns. And we can solve these two equations by any method. Get the value of C0 and C1 and substitute in equation number 1. So we can compute a raised to m for any value of m. So from equation 3 I have -1 raised to m equal to C0 minus C1, and equation 4 is 2 raised to m equal to C0 plus 2C1. So if I subtract this, so I will get -1 raised to m minus 2 raised to m equal to minus 3C1. So this implies that C1 equal to 1 by 3, 2 raised to m minus -1 raised to m. So I got the value of C1. Substitute the value of C1 in any one of these equations and we will get C0. So C0 is equal to 1 by 3, 2 raised to m plus 2 into -1 whole raised to m. So once we got C0 and C1, we substitute it in equation number 1. So our equation 1 is a raised to m equal to C0 I plus C1a. So where C0 and C1 takes these values. So suppose we want to find a raised to 4. So what we have to do is we have to put m equal to 4. So if you put m equal to 4, we will get C0 is equal to 1 by 3, 2 power 4 plus 2. And C1 is equal to 1 by 3, 2 power 4 minus 1. So this implies C0 equal to 6 and C1 equal to 5. So we can write a raised to 4 is equal to 6i plus 5a. So which is 6 into identity matrix is 1 0 0 1 plus 5 into the matrix A. So it is minus 2 4 minus 1 3. So if we do this, we will get minus 4 20 minus 5 21. So this is a raised to 4. So similarly, if we want to find a raised to 6, what we have to do is we have to put m equal to 6. So we will get, in the same way you have to do, we will get C0 is equal to 22 and C1 is equal to 21. So a raised to 6 is equal to 22i plus 21a. Again we have to substitute for identity matrix and the matrix A itself. So we will get minus 20, 84, minus 21, 85. So in this way we can find a raised to m for any m, where m is a positive integer. So we have to develop the general formula for C0 and C1. Then we can put any value for m. So right now we did for a 2 by 2 matrix. Now we will see for a 3 by 3 matrix. So second problem. So let A equal to the matrix 1 1 minus 2 minus 1 2 1 0 1 minus 1. Now we have to find the characteristic equation. So characteristic equation, as we have discussed in the previous sessions, it is determinant of a minus lambda I equal to 0. So this implies 1 minus lambda 1 minus 2 minus 1 2 minus lambda 1 0 1 minus 1 minus lambda. This is equal to 0. Now if you expand this, we will get it as minus lambda cube plus 2 lambda square plus lambda minus 2 equal to 0. And so this is the characteristic equation, and from here it is a cubic equation. If you solve it, we will get the eigenvalues as minus 1 1 2. So they are the eigenvalues. So from the characteristic equation, we will get lambda cube is equal to minus 2 plus lambda plus 2 lambda square. Lambda raised to m as C0 plus C1 lambda plus C2 lambda square as the general form. Since the equation is 3 by 3, in this case you will have 3 constants C0, C1 and C2. Now by the Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we will get a raised to m equal to C0 I plus C1a plus C2a square. Mark it as equation number 1. Also we have lambda raised to m equal to C0 plus C1 lambda plus C2 lambda square. Mark it as equation number 2. Now we have our characteristic values or eigenvalues as -1, 1 and 2. So we have to substitute the values. So put lambda equal to -1. So we will get -1 raised to m is equal to C0 minus C1 plus C2. Then put lambda equal to 1 in equation 2. So we will get 1 is equal to C0 plus C1 plus C2. Then put lambda equal to 2. So we will get 2 raised to m is equal to C0 plus 2C1 plus 4C2. Now we have to solve these three equations. So we have three equations in three unknowns, and if we solve this, we will get the value of C0, C1 and C2. So this you can solve by any method, by substitution method or adding two equations. Anyway, we have three equations in three unknowns, so we will get a solution. So solving these three equations, we will get C0 is equal to 1 by 3 plus -1 whole raised to m minus 2 raised to m, and C1 is equal to 1 by 2 1 minus -1 whole raised to m, and C2 we will get as 1 by 6 minus 3 plus -1 whole raised to m plus 2 raised to m plus 1. So after getting C0, C1 and C2, we can substitute here. We have the general formula a raised to m equal to C0i plus C1a plus C2a square, our equation number 1. So for example, if we want to compute a raised to 10, you have to put m equal to 10 here. So in this equation, if you put m equal to 10, we will get C0, C1 and C2, and then substitute in equation 1. So we will get a raised to 10 as minus 340, 341, 341, minus 1023, 1024, 1023, minus 341, 341, 342. So we can see that if using this formula, it is very easy to compute any power of a. Now next we will see how to find the inverse of a matrix using Cayley-Hamilton theorem. So finding the inverse. Now we have also studied one method for finding inverse in the previous lectures. So now we will see how to find the inverse using Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Okay. So for example, the matrix is -2, 4, -1, 3. So finding the inverse using Cayley-Hamilton theorem. So as usual, we have to find the characteristic equation. So in this problem, we will get the characteristic equation as lambda square minus lambda minus 2 equal to 0. Now if we apply, we know that by Cayley-Hamilton theorem says that every square matrix satisfies its characteristic equation. So by Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we get a square minus a minus 2i equal to 0. So this implies that a square is equal to a plus 2i. Now our aim is to find the inverse of A. So for this, multiply both sides with A inverse. So multiplying both sides with A inverse, we will get A inverse A square is equal to A inverse A plus 2i. So here we will get A equal to A inverse A gives you identity matrix plus 2 A inverse I will give you again A inverse. So this implies that A inverse is equal to half into A minus I. So we got a relation for A inverse. So if we substitute here, we can directly get A inverse. So A inverse is equal to 1 by 2 into the matrix A, which is given in the problem. So minus 2, 4, minus 1, 3, minus identity matrix 1, 0, 0, 1. So if we do the computations here, we will get this as 1 by 2 into minus 3, 4, minus 1, 2. So we have minus 3 by 2, 2, minus half, 1. So this is the value of A inverse. So we can compute if the matrix is non-singular, that is if it has an inverse, we can compute its inverse using Cayley-Hamilton theorem in an easy way. So today in this lecture, we have studied how to compute the higher powers of a given matrix A using Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Also, we have seen how to use Cayley-Hamilton theorem to find the inverse of a matrix. So we will stop here. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.